How are we feeling on this beautiful Monday? Okay, my apologies. Again, your girl is a busy bee. So I wasn't able to film on our Soulmate Sunday, but I'm still going to bring you a soulmate reading right now. Bogart agrees. Okay, so basically, you ask your questions. Intuitively, I pick up on the energy, I shuffle the cards, your energy gets drawn in, and then we see what your spirit guides, your higher self, and the universe has to tell you. So, that being said, let's blow away any old energy and let's call in for all of the answers. What does my collective need to know? All right. How are we feeling? What have we been doing? It's a beautiful start of a new week. I'm going to bring you another yoga video very soon. Maybe tomorrow I'll film it. See how I'm feeling. What does my schedule look like? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see. Maybe I was thinking if I could even film it outside in my backyard. So I'll see. Maybe I'll change up some settings, but I do have everything already like preset in my living room. So we'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll change it up every once in a while. My New Year's resolution. Have you guys been sticking to your New Year's resolutions? That's a good question. So my New Year's resolution was to do yoga every single day of this year. And I have accomplished that. I was like super upset the first day that I wasn't actually able to make a physical class at the studio. But then I told myself, like, centuries ago, they didn't have yoga mats. They didn't have classrooms that you had to attend. You just intuitively did this movement practice on your own. You meditated on your own. And I was like, yeah, hello, I'm an instructor, forever a student, and I can do this on my own in the comfort of my own house. So I think it's been like 3 days where I wasn't actually able to make it into the studio, but I still did a home practice for an hour. So I still am counting those. I've done yoga every single day this year, and that's really cool to say. I'm going to go strong every single day. And then, I have gotten the question of, do I need a break? Sometimes it's best to take a rest day. But no, my rest day will just be like a lighter, more gentle flow. I don't have to go like crazy doing a Bikram class or a heated vinyasa class. I can take a hatha or vinyasa, or I can just intuitively move myself on the floor and do a gentle flow. Okay, Bogart, we need you out of here. Oh, his tail's already whipping stuff around. Bogart, say hello to the collective. Isn't he so cute? Hello. I love you too. I love you too, buddy. But we got to go. Nope. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. He's not having it. Cat hair galore. Okay, where were we? One more shuffle. Soulmates, soulmates, soulmates. What does my collective need to know for soulmates? There's a little bit of a delay. Somebody's still feeling some depression. They're releasing some worries. They're trying to find the hope. It's feeling like there's like these deep-seated fears of reaching out. There's a secret. Somebody has a secret. Okay. What does my collective need to know about their soulmate? Are they in a soulmate connection? Have they already met their soulmate? Are they going to meet their soulmate? What's happening? This is the one. Okay. So for what's at hand card, this whole situation, what does my collective need to know and their soulmate? With their soulmate. Okay. I don't know why this comes up. You see me shuffle the cards. I shuffle all the time. And I do readings in between my recorded readings too. So somebody is holding on to a lot of extra baggage. We got the 10 of Wands coming up again. This came up in a past few readings ago. So either you've been hard at work or your person's been hard at work, but there's also a burden with the emotional weight that this is carrying on them. It could be the burden of all of these responsibilities, like somebody coming into their purpose in life and feeling like they need to create this foundation. They need to build something, right? And that weight is really heavy on them. Like, look at this masculine depicted here is, drudging forward, carrying all of these sticks, potentially to build a foundation, a house, some kind of structure within their life, right? And it's a lot of extra responsibility. It's a lot of burden. And look, his head is down. So it's like they don't even want to deal with it. And they're just like continuing forward, pushing through, working hard, trying to get something completed. But the good news is that this is the final manifestation. It's the number 10. The number 10 boils down to the number 1 in numerology. So 1 is all about new beginnings. So all of this hard work was not for nothing. A lot of fire energy here. Maybe this is like, not maybe, this is all firewood. This is culminating in order to set the stage. This is culminating to burn this fire under your booty to get things moving, to get things grooving. Like you are building this foundation, or your soulmate is building this foundation for their final manifestation. We're coming into these realizations. They're recognizing things. You both are recognizing that this is the result of the hard work, right? This passion is going to burn inside of you until you make it happen, until that result is in front of your eyes, it's tangible. There will be a completion here. So I do like this energy for what's at hand. Okay, and then in our past, a lot of reminiscing. You guys are definitely soulmates. This is my soulmate card. We've got the 6 of Cups here. There's a familiarity. When you guys saw each other, you just knew. You're like, why does this person feel so familiar? Why do I feel so good? All the butterflies. A lot of happy memories that you guys made too, even if it was in a short period of time. And they're reminiscing on this. A lot of nostalgia here, especially since it's in the past and the mind position. So I have different card placements, and this is the past and what's going on for us mentally. So mentally, one or both of you are reminiscing on all of these memories that were created. A lot of joy and nostalgia, but also an innocence here, because we've got this little girl looking up at the boy, presenting them with this cup full of roses. Or I don't know if it's roses, it's little white flowers, little daisies maybe. But anywho, this is a card of movement. It's a card of balance, finding this harmony, finding the healing. It's a very empathetic card too. Ruled by water signs, so any fire water signs are really relevant here. In particular, Sagittarius and Scorpio right now, but again, all fire and water signs. What I really like that people don't recognize, like the depictions in the cards, is this young boy has to get past the guard in order to present this cup of flowers, this emotional offering, right, to the young girl. Notice how there's a guard back here walking with their stick, walking with their purpose, kind of, watching the grounds. And there's this same cup behind the young boy, and he's able to present the same cup in front of him. So again, in the past, this stirred up a lot of nostalgia, a lot of happy memories. So I feel like even in the past, this cup had been presented to you guys in a past life. And then now it's like the cycle is happening again. or they're coming through being able to present this emotional offering to you in the present. Or maybe that's what they did in the past. But what I really like too is in the foreground, what they're not even paying attention to. It's like in front of them, right? In the present or the future are 4 more cups, right? Because it's the 6 of cups. There's 4 more of these offerings. So I know you don't want to hear this, but it's feeling to me like you guys have been past lovers. They've offered this emotional love to you in a past life. They've presented it to you in the past, in this current life. And then you either have 4 more offerings in 4 future lives, or 4 more times in this lifetime, which is why I said you might not want to hear this. But to me, it's indicating that, especially with relationships that feel guarded, right? There's this guard here. So it feels like you're going against the grain, you're going against other people's wishes of this. That there could be some on and off energy of where they like pull back and then no, they're willing to offer this now. And then they pull back again and then they're willing to come in and offer this again. They pull back, they're willing to offer this again. And then one final one. So let's hope that the 5th time is the charm, right? Or the 6th if we're counting the past life. So if you've gone through some hot and cold energy, I think that this is what it's referring to. But X marks the spot on this current position right now. So that's what has been going on in the past. Yeah, and again, we've just got some anxiety, a lot of fears and worries happening from this. Again, maybe it's like they didn't have this foundation, so they're just working hard on completing this foundation before they can come back and offer another cup of love. Let's see what's going on in the present right now for my collective of soulmates. The Ace of Swords. This came up like a few readings ago again. I swear you see me shuffle. It feels like it's repeated energy, but it is, because if you guys are my same collective every week. So Ace of Swords, they're finding the mental clarity, which is a very beautiful thing. They're having breakthroughs, epiphanies. They're, working on cutting through any fog, any mental cloudiness, any prior judgments from others or from themselves, of all of that fear and anxiety. But there's a new idea here that there can be success with this. They just have to sharpen their mind. Again, it's like upsetting to say this, but since the sword is in the upright position, it could mean that maybe you've gotten over past conflicts, but then there's even a new conflict and somebody feels like, they have to be guarded again. But this guarding comes from emotions, right? So this is the physical, and this is the physical present placement. So in the physical, right, you feel, right? We're connected to the heart in the physical space. So when you have these new ideas, they stem from emotions. They stem from feelings. When you think about, could this be a successful relationship? Could I be a successful partner? Can I have, build the foundation to offer a lover that I've felt strongly for and I'm reminiscing from in the past? That creates a whole new conflict for them. So especially if they are an anxiety-ridden person, now it's these new epiphanies almost create more stress on them, which is, it sucks, but it is what it is. And the skies are gray here. So right now they're still dwelling on the clouds. They're not seeing the bright future ahead. I've just got to say that. They're still seeing how this is a very big mountain to scale, and they're not thinking about the views from the top. In our future placement, we have the Strength in reverse. Okay, my Leos are coming up. So there is a lot of power and strength here, but I'm feeling like somebody's in a lack of control. Somebody is finding or being guided to find their inner strength, and they don't have it right now. There's a lot of self-doubt, weakness, again, insecurities. It's just like a lower vibration. We're emitting a lower energy right now. We're not tuning into the proper frequencies that we need to be on, that we know internally deep down that you do have the strength and the power to evoke this, but you need to believe in yourself. Your partner needs to believe in themselves. Because there's raw emotion here. But I'm feeling a really big struggle with pride. This is a cycle that's just on repeat. Like I said, it's been in past lives, it's in the present, and then we're still going through this hot and cold energy right now. Because if you notice on the crown, she has this infinity symbol again. But look at all of the growth there. She has this flower crown on, and there's so many roses that she's dressed herself with. And she's petting this lion fearlessly. But we're just not quite there yet. We're still feeling like there's just this lack of control. We haven't tamed the lion, whether that lion is our internal lion or our partner externally, or the external situations, right? Third-party situations. So there's just still a lot of self-doubt, even though we're tapping into this raw emotion now with this Ace of Swords. It's like we're sharpening our mind. We're having these breakthroughs. But it's created more of a struggle. Not what we want to hear, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's clarify this. I gotta stop saying Why do we do that, humans? Better vocabulary. What's another word for Put it in the comments. My mind has no words. 10 of Wands. Let's clarify this 10 of Wands, please, for my collective. Who's been hard at work? Who's been hard at work? Why are they burdened so much? What's this extra responsibility? This one. Depth. Awareness. Finding this awareness and creating the importance and value around this depth of finding themselves. Finding their flame. That's what I said earlier. Finding their purpose in life. Finding their passion. Finding this drive, this motivation, this ignition within themselves, within their soul space, within everything, mind, body, soul, to really figure out what their foundation is, who they are, what they want to complete in life, what they want to do, what defines them, to connect to their depth, to discover their depth. That is what's burdening them, or you. That's what you're hard at work trying to figure out. So is this you, or is this your soulmate? Or is it both of you? Okay, and then we've got the 6 of Cups. Tell me about this reminiscing, these soulmates. What did I say earlier? There's just some cloudy judgment here. There's this unbalanced energy right now. It almost feels like an illusion. It's like when one party thinks about and starts reminiscing on the connection, how beautiful it was, how much joy, how much love, how much nostalgia there is, all of the happy memories. It starts to create this anxiety in them again. It creates this cloud of judgment. And then they almost think like, was this an illusion? Why did this come in? Why did this create such a fog in my life? You know, they feel like a distorted reality with this. And it's blocked their third eye and it's blocked their regular vision. It's almost meeting. You guys meet. So definitely you've met. Obviously, with the Six of Cups, you've already met. And now with this clouded judgment over that, the second that you guys met, no matter how beautiful it was, now they are thinking like, what the heck was that? My whole life got turned upside down. I feel totally unbalanced. I feel like everything has been an illusion so far, and now I'm even more confused than I was with my life before I've met this person. So there's a lot of distorted judgment. No words again. They have a hard time opening up their throat chakra. Somebody's not speaking what they really feel. But yeah, this mental clarity is just totally clouding. They're having a hard time finding the mental clarity in the past with this cloud of judgment. But good news is they find this mental clarity with the Ace of Swords in the present position. So let's clarify over that. Ooh, what we don't see at the bottom of the deck is that they've been spying on you. They've been spying on your social medias, on your social networks, finding information or ways about you, about this connection. Maybe you're the one who's been spying. Yeah, they're watching you. Okay, that's what we don't see at the bottom of the deck. That's what they have been doing. If you didn't think that they were caring, they've been looking. They've been watching. We've got the Divine Feminine, which is so beautiful because the last reading I did, we had the Divine Masculine come up. So now we've got the Divine Feminine in the present position. So the Divine Feminine is embodying her energy in the present physical. She's like all about this yin energy. She's tapped in to the feminine, goddess powers. That's telling me that the Divine Feminine in this connection, and again, you can be a masculine defining as a Divine Feminine, vice versa. I don't care who you love, what you want to label yourselves as. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us, but take it how it resonates. If you are the Divine Feminine in this situation, then tap into that, honor that. There's nothing wrong with that. But anywho, currently in the present, it's the Divine Feminine who's recognizing this Ace of Swords mental clarity. They're the ones who are having these breakthroughs, these new ideas, and this success. It's not to say that the masculine isn't also, because if you guys truly are soulmates, you're connected on this energetic field. You guys resonate together and you guys help each other grow and tune into the same frequency at the same levels. But really, the Divine Feminine is putting on her crown. She is like, let me fix my hair. I got my crown on. We are golden. And she's stepping into her power, which is a beautiful thing for the masculine to witness, because then that allows the masculine to say, you know what? I want to put my crown on as well. And I need to either A, surrender into this, or B, work harder so I can get to that. Look at that. I just want to show you guys another correlation. I love when the cards mirror each other. Look at the crown at the top of that mental clarity, right? And the physical. So this mental clarity, this clouded judgment that we're coming out of, is enabling us to really step into our power. And let's talk about the strength in reverse. So who doesn't feel strong right now? Who's dealing with some insecurities and self-doubts? Whoever was left with some bitterness. Again, that could be both of you. It could be one in particular. Ladybugs are you know what? In Scotland too. The last time I saw a thistle was in Scotland, and that's their flower. This is a thistle. And there's this little red ladybug here. Somebody look up what the definition of ladybugs represent. There's still some resentment, internal anger. There were some hurtful words said. This isn't the future placement. So again, we're still dealing with some raw emotions and struggling with our pride. We're still dealing with some anger. Whoever said some things, it really struck somebody deep down. It really affected them. Look how thorny this thistle is. It really created some pain here. And that's why there's a struggle to find this internal peace, why we're still feeling weak and low energy. You know, I almost want to say that this is the Leo, if one of you guys are a Leo who's dealing with this lack of internal strength and insecurities, self-doubt. But the number 8 could be relevant again, that the 8 is in correlation to that infinity symbol. These are cycles. I feel like you both are meeting at the middle of that infinity symbol. I feel like there's bitterness on both ends. There's resentment on both ends. Maybe both of you guys said some harsh things to each other, and that created some struggle for both of you internally. But currently, this feminine is really finding this clarity through some breakthroughs, having some epiphanies right now, spiritually tapping into the divine feminine, this goddess, this internal intuition, this magic, right? Okay. I still am kind of confused. I want to know more. What's going on? Oh, typically I do tarot, but I was called to, and it's this one. Not today. Okay. I barely shuffled that. I'm going to shuffle more, but they just said you got to pick up this one. So I'll pull 2 cards for our what's at hand. What's at hand right now is that this awareness, this value, this depth that we're on the journey of is not happening today. You can't rush this, is what that's telling me. Somebody put up some boundaries here. There's some condensation on the window that the handprint is on. So it's telling me this created a lot of hurt. Somebody has cried over this. Maybe both parties did. They're avoiding a conversation. They don't want to deal with these emotions, and they're still upset. And that's currently for our what's at hand overall look into this situation. That they're working on themselves. They're working on all of these responsibilities that are weighing very heavy on them. They know that their job is to go internally and find the spiritual awakening, find the importance of awareness, find their depth. But it's not all going to happen today. And they can't come back into union today because all of this stuff hasn't been dealt with. It hasn't been healed yet. So we do need to respect some boundaries here. Okay, let's clarify that a little bit more. Can we clarify the overall situation? What's at hand? This is the one. What? We already know it. But like, because we got the spy card coming up too. Pictures. They're looking at pictures. They're missing you. There's a lot of nostalgia here because we've got the nostalgia in the past and currently in the what's at hand overall situation. So there is this yearning to make new memories with you. Paris could be significant, London, and Rome. And I was going to say Rome earlier. Why was I going to say Rome earlier? Well, I did put it on one of my shorts from the last reading. But I don't know. I was called to say it earlier, and then I did. Oh, this is why. I was like, what card made me think of it? Look on the top of here. So we've got the Roman wreath crown, and then I feel like we've also got the Greek, and then we've got the British royal crown. So yeah, this is the energy. So London, Paris, Rome, maybe you guys have been in those cities together, or you're going to be. But this is overall, there's a lot of nostalgia here. They're missing you, you're missing them, and you both want to make new memories together. Looking at these pictures, here, maybe looking at these pictures will strike something for you. Okay. All right, over cloudy judgment in the past. Yeah, they had to release some narcissistic tendencies. This goes for both of you because there's the mirror here. They were a reflection for you to say, hey, what do you need to heal? Because that's probably what I need to heal too. Being self-absorbed or one-sided, not seeing the bigger picture, putting on each other's shoes. We just had 3113 on the clock, which is a mirror image of each other, right? Love bombing. So, just as fast as the emotions came through, to not just spew them at somebody unless you're ready, right? Baby's breath. So take a breath and ground into this energy. See where you need to heal. Because that's what created this imbalance. That's what created the distorted illusion here and all of these cloudy judgments. Okay. In our present for our divine feminine. Wow. Okay, so remember I said with this Ace of Cups that with these breakthroughs and epiphanies and sharpening the mind, this mental clarity also equals a new conflict. Now you have a broader way of thinking about things, and you're recognizing all of those old wounds that got triggered and came up, right? The things that we need to work on and heal. And it's showing up again. They were feeling like they weren't enough. They were feeling like they weren't enough. They were blinded to the bigger situation. They almost felt confined. Her hands are tied with the red ribbon, but every time I see a red ribbon, it's the red ribbon of fate. You guys were connected and meant to experience these things to heal this stuff. There was a lacking of confidence. There was a lot of self-sabotage. There was ego and fear and frustrations. Somebody has brown curly hair. But I'm happy to say that at least the divine feminine is stepping into her energy. But this is showing me that if the masculine didn't feel like they were enough, if they were lacking confidence and self-sabotaging through this ego and fear, then they need to tap into this divine feminine energy as well. They need to step into feeling all right, being vulnerable. In fact, that it's a power to be vulnerable, to tap into your truth, to speak what you really feel, and to not be scared of that. Because that's what's causing the frustrations, is your lack of honesty with yourself, not tapping into that divine feminine energy. Okay, and then what's up with this stuff in the future? I don't want, I always say it's not like a permanent future, but it's the near future, within the next few days, next few weeks. There's still some bitterness. There's still this resentment and these insecurities or self-doubts. Like, what's going on with this? If we can get past that, you can get to paradise. There is happiness and joy here in the future on a beach somewhere. You guys can step into this honeymoon phase again, into enjoying each other. But that's what needs to be healed. Any bitterness, all of the anger, all of the struggle, all of the pride, any raw emotions need to come to the surface. right? They need to be washed up on shore. We need to deal with them, and we need to cleanse. That those repeated cycles can no longer happen anymore. We need to heal all of that in order to step into paradise. Feel this happiness. Enjoy each other's company again. Come back to this honeymoon phase. What do the angels have to say for us? Angels, angels. Maybe this will just be one long one. And if you guys watch it, you watch it. If not, I don't know. Because maybe I still have to do my Monday reading. Okay. There is deception here. Somebody's wearing a mask. Somebody's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. What did I say earlier about through their insecurities, they lied. They lied about their real emotions. Right? They didn't want to deal with this. They put up some boundaries because they were hurt. They were still upset and they were avoiding a conversation, so they lied. They lied about their true emotions and they acted like it was all okay. Maybe they even could have flipped the script and had some narcissistic tendencies, being one-sided or whatnot. But the truth is that they're still finding their depth. They're still figuring out this awareness, and they're still thinking about you. They're still missing you. But somebody was wearing a mask. What we don't see at the bottom of the deck is a reconciliation. They want to come in. Look at this masculine coming in behind her. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay, so we don't see. Yeah, there was so much flirting. We're being guided to extend your lighthearted energy. Come back to one another. Remember that how good it felt to flirt with each other. Each other's caresses, touch is so important to get out of that cloud of judgment, to see through that golden mirror of reflection and know what we had to work on and heal for each other. You're being told to keep an open mind. You have to let go of the fear and ego, let go of the self-sabotaging, let go of this lack of confidence, because your soulmate is here. Keep an open mind. This whole situation is going to be different from your expectations. It's going to be different from what you ever thought that this all could be. Maybe even different from your usual type. But this is here and it's divinely guided. Look at these little angels. We got 1 and 2. The masculine is a brunette. Light skin, fair skin, brunette. The feminine is a brunette too, also fair skin. Lighter hair than... Okay. And it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Look at these 2 little angels again. Cupid has got you. Cupid's bow and arrow has got you. One is here with the masculine, one is here with the feminine, and we're coming into the year of the fire horse, right? You just got this beautiful red garb on. Look at this beautiful red dress and the castle in the sky. Oh, okay, we've got 2 coming in. Maybe the feminine is a blonde woman too for some other part of the collective. But masculine depicted here is still a brunette. At least this masculine is looking in the direction forward in the way of the horse movement. But the feminine is looking off to the side. I really feel like she's stepped into her power now. She's like, well, if you want me, come and get me. But it is safe for you to love. It's safe for you to love. So let go of that bitterness. Let go of the insecurities and self-doubt, because you guys have the power to enjoy each other. Come back into this love, this joy, this harmony and paradise. Go back into this honeymoon phase. Maybe you're going to go to a honeymoon on a beach, some tropical place. All right, that's what I have for you. 40 minutes. That's it. That's all you guys are going to watch, if that. Your attention spans. My name's Kat. This is my channel, Pure Premonitions, where we make more magic. Okay, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.